In this specific module and use case, I'm going to be sharing some insights around the foundational building blocks required to ultimately launch a Wamly project. So in this conversation today, I'm going to be speaking about forms. Now, forms is one of the building blocks in setting up a Wamly project that you can use to get back information from your candidate. When I say one, there are two specific foundational principles or building blocks in Wamly that allow you to get information from a candidate. And they are called forms and interview guides. Today's conversation is about forms, where to use it, how to use it. Please note, this is not a technical training video. If you would like to understand exactly how to use forms from a technical perspective, there is a separate training video on the technicality of forms. So high level, what is forms? When we built Wamly, we didn't have forms. Wamly started off with an interview guide only. So you would be able to set up a bunch of questions, have candidates answer those questions, and then have your panel review the videos. However, what started happening is that our clients started phoning us saying that, Fran, we absolutely love this. It's working really well. It's saving so much time. It's creating efficiency. But what happens when we've got 50 or 100 videos that came in? We still have to watch all of that. And so we decided to build a feature called Forms, where you're able to request information from your candidates before they begin the interview. And then you're able to filter on these form fields and only watch the videos that meet your form criteria. Now, if you go back to the research for a second, the predictive validity of a CV to understand if someone will be successful in a role is really bad. You might go, Fran, what does that mean? Let me make it plain and simple. By looking at a CV, which the whole world does, is not actually allowing you to fairly differentiate between candidates, because what a CV is giving you is not enough information to make a good hiring decision. So what we're saying at Wamly is we're actually advocating for you to spend less time screening CVs. It's a lot of admin, takes a lot of time, and there are a lot of room for mistakes. The CVs are outdated, they look different. You have to browse through multiple pages, and ultimately you might become so fatigued that you end up just looking at someone's nice picture. Now, you might be smiling because you've done that before, and I know I have too. So no judgment. Okay, so back to forms. Forms is a feature in Wamly where you're able to build a set of questions using the toolbox on the right-hand side, where you are asking or requesting the candidate to either on their keyboard type their answers back to you or on their cell phone and actually complete the form fields. Now, in this form that I've got here in front of me, I am asking for name, surname, email, mobile, years of experience. But on the right-hand side, you might also want to use the radio button, the drop-down, the open text field to actually ask specific questions from the candidates. Now, use case. To effectively use the form, you have to start with analyzing the job profile. What are those areas in the job profile that the job requires? Now, I know from more than 10 years of experience in the world of HR that setting up job profiles at times becomes tedious. It is seen or perceived as a paper exercise. But I can confirm to you today that a job profile is the fundamental building block of everything you do in HR. It helps us understand how to build a job ad. It helps us understand what to look for when making hiring decisions. It helps us understand how to measure performance. It helps us with the succession planning and many other integrated talent management principles and practices in your business. So back to the Wamly form. If you decide to use a form as part of your project setup, you would navigate to forms and you would be able to set up a form. Think about the job profile and then build the building blocks in the form that would allow you to apply filters in your Wamly project so that you are only left with the videos that match your form criteria, because that is the power of forms. The candidates complete the form. They complete the interview guide by answering your questions while being recorded. But before you start watching the videos, you can then filter on the various form fields and only be left with the videos that match your criteria. To make it really practical, I'm going to use a job here at Wamly that we are continuously recruiting for called a strategic account manager. Now, when I analyzed that job, it became clear to me that I'm looking for three elements. I'm looking for an industrial psychologist with 3 to 5 years of working experience contextual to our environment. And what is that? Implementing HR software, dealing with HR departments as a stakeholder, building relationships, building that network, and successfully managing the complexity of the HR landscape. So if I didn't have Wamly, I would have to analyze the CV, go and look for those areas, which very few candidates will specifically say or mention, and then hopefully by inviting you to an interview, pick up on those knowledge, qualification, experience, and skills. The form, field, and feature in Wamly will allow you to specifically ask for that. How many years of experience do you have in HR implementation? Are you a registered industrial psychologist? And if yes, what is your Health Professions Council number? So you're able to go very specific, set up those form fields, and then the candidate is going to have to answer those questions, which will then allow you to effectively filter before you start listening to their answers. If you would like to know more about forms, please reach out to us, speak to your account manager, and if you're not a Wamly client yet, please reach us via the website or email us at hello@wamly.io. Thank you for listening to this use case on how to use forms. Have a great day.